Okay, thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate the introduction, and thank everybody for coming to the presentation. As Tim mentioned, Goldstorm Metals is a new company. We spun it out from Tudor Gold last year at around this time. Tudor Gold, if you don't know, has a major discovery in the Golden Triangle just north of KSM project. It's 23 million ounces of gold equivalent in the indicated category. We had projects in the south trend of the KSM deposit trend that we felt last year wasn't getting value, so it was the reason why we spun it out into a new vehicle and named it Goldstorm Metals Corp after the Tudor Gold discovery. So once we spun it out, we financed it for $3.9 million. It was during a very tough time in the market, but we were able to do that. And one of our strategic investors was Skeena, who we after one meeting came in with a nice placement and was they moved very fast on it. So they in a way kind of vetted the projects. So I'll just get into the presentation now. Here's the forward-looking statements. So the investment highlights of Goldstorm Metals is really an opportunity for investors to participate in a very prolific mineral belt with over 100 million ounces of gold, 18 billion pounds of copper. Major investors include Eric Sprott, I believe he owns 13%, and Skeena Resources at 9.9%. We also have a number of institutional investors involved as well. Management success, we have our geologist, Ken Conkin, has spent almost his entire career in the Golden Triangle. He's made the discovery of the Valley of the Kings. He drilled out the Snowfields deposit and then was credited with the discovery at Goldstorm. So we have an excellent team, a number of geologists pretty much grown up in the Golden Triangle, so they know it very well, and we're very lucky to have them. We just completed an aggressive exploration program this year too. It included not only reconnaissance at the Crown property, but also 11 drill holes at the Electrum. We have published two of the first holes. You see the results there. 61 meters of 1.13 grams per ton gold, and the second drill hole, two intercepts of 37 meters of 0.78 grams per ton gold and 31 meters of 0.86 grams per ton gold. So we're off to a good start. Here's a share structure of the company. We trade on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol GSTM. We have 64 million shares issued. Our market cap right now is, well, it's lower than what we started out with last year. We financed the company at 26 cents. Right now we're trading at around 19 cents, so market cap is under $12 million. The equity ownership is to the right there. Tudor Holdings owns 21%, Eric Sprott at 13.7%, and Skeena Resources at 9.9%. Management directors, I did touch on Ken Conkin. He's the CEO and president of this company, as well as Tudor Gold. He has a 19-year career at Silver Standard, and then went to Pretium and made the discovery at Valley of the Kings. So he has been in this region for about 30 years, and we lean on him very hard in terms of his knowledge and of the region and his expertise. So the Crown property is located just south of the Newmont Brucejack mine and Seabridge Gold KSM property, just north of Ascot's Premier mine and Scotty Gold. Exploration potential on this project is quite significant. It's quite mineral diverse, lots of gold, silver, base metals, opportunities to discover VMS, epithermal, and porphyry-style mineralization deposits. Exploration history is quite underexplored. There's very few concessions that have been drilled, and very few concessions that have actually have sampling geophysics on it. So this year we set out our geological team and made up for lost time, and they've now developed several targets that we're going to look at following up on the next couple of years. So this is the regional setting. This is the infrastructure of the Golden Triangle. It's a plug-and-play district. The properties, Electrum and Curran, are located just 45 minutes north of Stewart, BC. We have all year round running water for exploration and mining. Power line runs parallel to Highway 37 that goes right to the Red Chris mine. There's a power line that goes right to Stewart, and then right north directly to the Bruce Jack mine goes right above our heads on our Electrum property. So we're strategically located in the Golden Triangle. Air access, we've got commercial airports at Terrace and at Smithers. There's an airstrip in Stewart. We have export facilities, deep water, ocean port at Stewart for driving the concentrates too. So it's excellent. This is the geology in the area. Basically, our properties are underlain by pretty much all the type of geology that you find in the Golden Triangle. There's opportunities for VMS discoveries, high-grade silver and gold, but the most important geological structural corridor in this area, I think, is the KSM mineral belt that hosts some of the largest gold copper porphyry systems in the world. And that extends from the KSM property from the south all the way up to the Treaty Creek property. The geological model of this mineral belt is every 2 kilometers there seems to be a pulse where there's a porphyry deposit located. And we use that model for the discovery of the Goldstorm deposit. So you can see, starting from the bottom, the Curran, there are 2 kilometers to Sulphurets, 2 kilometers to the Mitchell. There's 2 kilometers to Mitchell East, 2 kilometers to Iron Cap, and then 2 kilometers to the Perfect Storm Zone, which is one of our newest discoveries at Treaty Creek, and then 2 kilometers to the Goldstorm deposit. So it's certainly, we've proven that this mineral belt extends to the north. We also believe that the mineral belt extends to the south through our Crown property. And the Crown property is large enough, wide enough to host 4 of these potential porphyry targets. So this is going to be our focus in the next couple of years. These are concessions. The 6 adjacent concessions we call the Crown property. And in the middle, the high north and the Orion zones concessions are the ones that will likely host the porphyry style mineralization. The concessions on the outside probably will be more focused on high-grade precious metals and base metal discoveries. The Electrum property is located to the south. That was a property that we started most of the exploration this year. We conducted our drill program there only because we could drive to that property, and we had a significant target. But next year we will likely follow up on Electrum, but we'll also pay more attention to the Crown property now that we have we do have targets now to follow up on. But these properties are basically drill ready. They're permitted, well permitted for drilling, bulk sampling, geophysics, and for trenching. So I'll take you through these concessions one at a time, very quickly, very high-level overview. But the first one I'll start on is the Delta Zone, which is potential for high-grade precious metals systems and VMS. Historic results include sampling. Geophysics were done in 2007, surface rock sampling, highlighted by 14 kilos of silver. So we're very high on this one concession. The only amount of drilling that was completed on the Crown claims was on this concession, but you can see a small program was completed in 2012, returned 7 grams per ton gold, 250 grams per ton silver, 7% lead, 4% zinc over half a meter. And now we're going to this Fairweather Zone, going closer to the center. Now we're looking at possibly porphyry style and intrusive related targets, but it also has opportunity for high-grade precious metals and VMS. Again, historic results have been quite vague on it. There hasn't been much exploration, but trenching has returned a 7-meter, averaging 4 grams per ton gold, and then grab samples within the concession. We hit a high of 13 kilos of silver. The Orion Zone, this is one of the more interesting concessions and one of my favorites. It hosts what we call the Orion Spine, which there's a photo of it on the left-hand side. But this concession has the potential for high-grade precious metals and base metal systems, porphyry and intrusive related targets. Surface sampling essayed 25 grams per ton gold in the past. We conducted geophysics with Tudor in 2016 and then again in 2022. There's been some nice essays in 2018 of 30 grams per ton gold. So here's just an example, some of the geophysics that we completed in 2016. I'm not a geologist, but I'll do my best. There's a thrust fault here that offsets the sulfurettes fault, and then on the left-hand side is a mag survey, which shows a low over the area of the MT survey done in 2016, and that's right beside a 4.5 kilometer trend of high-grade mineralization. So this, is certainly a target that we're going to be looking to follow up on in the next year or so, we did do a certain amount of reconnaissance over the last year on the Orion Spine, and we'll be putting out a press release on the results of that program. Over to the west side of the property, this is the Macki West Zone. Very little is known really of this concession. There's not much information. We did carry out some reconnaissance on this, but potential for high-grade precious metals and porphyry-related intrusions, targets, and VMS. And then we've got the High North Zone, which is another very important concession, which covers the extension of the KSM mineral belt. So good opportunity to find another porphyry intrusive-related deposit. But the property that we spent most of our focus on this year was the Electrum Zone. We carried out a program that was 11 drill holes and over 2,600 meters of drilling, and we announced the results about 3 weeks ago on the two holes that intercepted wide bulk tonnage style mineralization. So you can see here, right there, that is the porphyry target. We put 2 drill holes into that system. Predictably, our cross-section here shows you the results. 111 meters of 0.77 grams per ton gold with 4 grams per ton silver. And then within that intercept, a higher grade intercept of 61 meters of 1.13 grams per ton gold and 6 grams per ton silver. Underneath that hole was hole 2, which intercepted 37 meters of 0.8 grams per ton gold and 1.65 grams per ton silver. Within that intercept, a higher grade interval of 7 meters of 2.64 grams per ton gold, 3 grams silver, and then down the hole at the end, a wider interval of 147 meters of 0.45 grams per ton gold, 3.2 grams per ton silver. Within that intercept, 31 meters of 0.89 grams per ton gold and almost 5 grams per ton silver. And that hole ended in mineralization. Over the next week, we will likely publish the results from the high-grade gold targets that we drilled. These are sheeted high-grade veins that run northwest, southeast, and there's 9 more holes to be reported. This is the last image, just showing the mineral belts we're going to be focusing on for Goldstorm metals in the coming years. Again, it's going to be the porphyry deposit trend coming down from the KSM property and the precious metals trend that we're postulating now that comes up from Ascot, goes through Scotty, through our Electrum property, through Crown, and right up to the Bruchac mine. So just to sum up this presentation, here's some reasons to invest in Goldstorm metals. We have a tiny market cap right now, about $11 million. It's probably the same story for a lot of juniors out there, but we're definitely in the right area. We've politically stable jurisdiction. We have the right geology. We'll have continue to have aggressive programs moving forward for discovery. We have a top management team who's drilled off over 70 million ounces of gold in the area. And with that, our properties and hopefully future results will look at having a significant value re-rating. And we call this Tutor 2.0 in the office. So. But anyways, that includes my presentation. Thank you very much for your time, and happy to answer any questions.